I'm gonna put this right in front of your face so you can't see anything. I
All you gotta do is stand up.
have one for him. Mic you up. Put you on blast. Here come your Proctor Rails. All right, everybody. Welcome to Northwoods Credit Union Arena this evening for your tilt between the Lumberjacks of Cloquet and your Proctor Rails. Starting tonight on the dot, we got Brecken centering Will and Ruxin. Miles and Max are at the points. Jacks start out with the puck. Taken away, centered by Will. Given back. Lumberjacks down into the zone. He's got possession down into the corner. Around behind, back to the near side, far side point. Pass is intercepted. Miles has it, starts out of the zone. That's Brecken, apologies. Puck in behind the net. Will scoops it up, surveys. All the way across for Miles. Steps into the circle, wires a shot wide of the net. Rux back to the point for Max. Back down to Rux. Sidestep of the player, pushes the puck down into the corner. Brecken back to the point for Miles. He'll fire another shot. That hits traffic out front. Cloquet chips it out of the zone. Miles has it back. Proctor on sides. He gets squeezed off the puck. Battling for it there. Declan taken down, no call. Cloquet into the zone, down to the bottom. Shot, glove save. Cool as the cucumbers. Jace on that one. Flashes the leather. $13:27 left in the first. We'll get a draw here in the Rails end. Pushed forward by Cloquet. Centered. Shot and scored right off the hop. Lone man out front. Cloquet capitalizes. They take the early lead. Poke check back out of the zone by Matt. Tony has off his stick. Matt picks this up at his own blue line, starts in the far side. Down to the middle, he's bumped off the puck. Rhea has it at the point. She sends this one to the middle. That goes off a body out front. Declan putting some pressure on there. Puck does squirt free. Gray with possession, backhands it ahead. That's off the wall down into the zone. Okay, up the wall in their own end, back to the corner, around behind their net. Sent ahead, that gets through. Number 10 down the far wall. Centered, taken away by Declan. Good play there. Back off the far wall. Okay, back in possession. Flex off a stick high. Gray now with it, curls back into the corner. He'll play it off the far corner into the up the wall. Pitching defender, picks that up at the bottom of the circle. Round behind the net. Back to the near point. One-timer there, blocked by Declan. Matt will clear this behind the net. Off the wall, tries to play to himself. That's taken away. Back out front, Gray has, backhands it over for Tony. He sidesteps one, can't get out of the zone. Cloquet, one-timer, kick saved by Jace. Tony on the half wall. Head for Declan. He's tripped up. Matt picks it up in the circle. He's just going to fire this one down the rink looking for a line change. And that's what we'll get. 11:47 remains in the first and a face-off here in the Rails end. Miles, possession off the draw, off the glass. That's held in at the point. Sent right back in behind. Jace will leave it behind the net. Okay, tries to backhand it to the point. That squirts to the slot. Puck still bouncing around there. Will finally gets it, able to backhand it out. Okay, sends it back forward. Max dumps it into the zone. Cloquet will take it back and start back up the rink. On the half wall. In behind. Cloquet with it in the corner. Cloquet with possession behind. Tries the center. Stifled by Miles. Brecken clears it up the near side wall for Rux. He tries for a centering pass. That's intercepted. Puck will squirt down into the Cloquet end. Backhander ahead, taken away by Brecken temporarily, though. Cloquet out of their zone into center ice. Sent in wide of the net. Brecken off the far wall for Will. He'll pick that up as he exits the zone. Stops along the far wall, back to Mac, or to Brecken, sent back in behind. Ruxin loses the battle along the end wall, and Cloquet starts back out. Chipped off the wall into the zone. Tony off the half wall there. Gray able to tip the pass. Brecken now up with speed. Into the zone, cuts to the middle. Round one, shot, kick save. It's turned away by the goaltender. Cloquet clears the rebound. They start back up through neutral ice. Into the zone, through his skates. Forced back to the wall. Centers all the way through. That'll hit the near side wall. Pinching defender, pushes it down into the corner. He'll take it around behind. There's a full lap of the zone here while his line changes behind him. Centers. Pad save from Jace on that quick shot. Cleared off the wall by Declan, but Cloquet takes it away. Right back into the zone. Ooh, that goes off a stick right out front, almost towards the net. High slot, shot. That's off a body out front. Declan trying to clear. Off a skate. Matt now with possession. Dumps it off the wall for Tony, but he can't get it out. That shot ends up wide of the net. Tip from Jace. Matt missed it. Declan battling for it in the far corner. Back to the point. Hard shot from the point. That's blocked. Another shot pushed wide of the net. Puck still in the Proctor zone. Matt will pick it up behind the net. He'll start out with it himself. Through center ice. Hard shot from the blue line. That's blocked. He's got it back in the corner. Pushed into the wall there. Declan with possession now. Sends it rink wide for Max. Hard shot. That deflects just wide of the net. Cleared to the line, but not out. Declan with a shot that hits traffic. Cleared to the line. Declan holds. Right back around to the corner. Played up the wall. Cloquet, rink wide pass, takes him out of the zone. Tipped ahead. Stops on the half wall. Shot towards the net, blocked away by Jace. Cleared up by Max. Rux tried a rink wide pass, that was intercepted. Cloquet down into the zone. He's taken down, no indication. Declan, top of the circle, ahead for Tony, and they're out of the zone. Tony dumps it to the corner, looking for a change. Held in at that point by Brecken. He's battling along the wall. Okay, comes out with it. Couple of moves. They're in the neutral ice. They'll just dump it down into the far corner. Miles will be the first one there. Miles looking through center ice. Loses possession. Ruxin's offsides. Into the zone. He had not yet cleared. Couple extra moves at the blue line. Ruxin drifted offsides, and we'll get a neutral zone draw with 6:42 left in this first period. Brecken wins the draw. Will dumps it to the corner. Cloquet with possession. Chipped up the wall. Matted vacated. He'll pick it up at center ice. Stops. Chips it ahead. That's taken away. He was double teamed. Hustles back. Ray now picks it up in the slot. Hard off the wall. Doesn't make it out. Backhanded back down into the circle. They'll play back to the point. Walks in. Shot from the circle. Gloves. Dropped. Rebound in behind. Cloquet with possession. Matt picks it up. Lead pass through the skates of Will. Icing waved off. Brecken with possession behind the net. Will coming in to help. On the wall, played back to the point. One-timer from Matt. Tipped on net. That was Will. Third to the point. Max vacated. He missed. Icing waved off. They're going to have to hustle for it. Matt protects the puck in behind, takes a bump. Max up the wall. Okay with possession again. Sent out front. Shot wide of the net. Picked up at the far point by the defender. He walks in. Shot from the top of the circle. Well wide of the net there. Max chips it ahead. Ruck tries to tip it out of the zone, but it's held in. Back to the point. Still held in. Puck squirts to the middle. Matt will chip this one up and out. Cloquet at center ice. Right back into the zone. Hard shot off a stick that goes into the corner. Played ahead by Max. Comes to the slot. Down alongside the net. Cleared to the point. Bria with a chip. She's able to get it to the line but not out. Kick save from the blue line by Jace. Good paying attention there. Held in once more, down into the slot. Centers off the pads, rebound, kick save from Jace. 2 flipper saves there. Griffin up off the wall, that's held in at the blue line. Over to the far circle. Down to the corner. Declan now with. Sidesteps one, loses possession though. Puck squirts into the circle. Puck now loose. Declan lost his stick. He'll pick it up. Be the first one on the puck. Chips it up the wall. Battle along the half wall there. Cloquet walks out of the circle with it. Down to the circle. Matt had played the puck. They're going to call that not tripping. He chips this high off the glass and out of the zone. Finally a line change. 3:40. .340 left in the first period here. Lots of zone time in this majority of this period for Cloquet. Shot from the circle off the draw. Glove held onto by Jace. Cloquet with possession off the draw. Miles up for Will. They're out of the zone 2-on-2 with trailers. Will stops. Meets traffic there, battling for it just inside the line. Cloquet chips it out and starts up again. Into the offensive zone down the far side wall. Around behind the net, sent out front. Shot blocked. Puck loose in the circle. That's cleared. Played ahead, a bump there. Brecken with it now. Into the offensive zone. Sidesteps one. Hard shot. Scores! Brecken turned the puck back. Brecken came near side. Went back against the grain. Beat the Cloquet goaltender blocker. And with 3:10 left in the first period, the Rails are on the board. Tied the game at 1. Cloquet with possession off the draw. Tony battling for it now at center ice. He's got Declan with him. Cloquet rink wide, sends it ahead. Miles will hop on it, play it off the wall, back out of the zone. Cloquet, rink wide pass into the zone. Pass one, hard shot, scores. Just like that, Cloquet is retaking the lead with 2:43 left in the first period. That one beat Jace high glove side. Cloquet takes possession right off the draw. Backhand shot. Played all the way to the wall by Jace. Other at the point, played down to the circle. To the near side point, that's taken away by Tony. Cloquet takes it back, right back into the zone near side. Shot from the circle, blocked by Gray. Matt takes possession behind the net. Backhands it ahead, that's off of Tony's stick. Cloquet takes it back. Matt overskated in the slot, puck loose. Shipped out of the zone by Declan. 2-on-1 as they cross. We got Tony and Bria. Tony curls, backhander on net, stick save. Tony will get this one back behind the net. He's got possession, centers, that's taken away. Cleared to the far wall, does make it out. 149 left in the first. Matt from his own blue line sends it ahead, tipped by Tony into the zone. Cloquet from their own corner starts out through the circle. Rink wide, taken away by Will. Able to get it into the zone, but poke checked right back out. Gray will step up, take that one. He's into the zone, bumps with the player there. Has his stick lifted, no call. Cloquet dumps into the far corner. Miles the first one on it there. Skates back out of the corner. Hard shot from the blue line. Stick saved and melted down. Jace slows it down with 1:06 left in the first. Rails with possession off the draw. Miles stripped of the puck. Cloquet, near side corner, play it back to their own point. Shot from there, gloved, dropped, smothered. 48.2 left in the first. We'll get another face-off here in the Rails end. On the near wall, Max has it, ahead for Rux, he centers. Miles jumps up, gets this one out of the zone. That tips off a couple of sticks, icing waved off. Lumberjacks efficiently out of their zone with a couple of passes. Into the Rails end. Dump down. Intercepted at the half wall by Brecken. He tips for Will. He'll start out. Rink wide pass. Doesn't quite make it for Rux. Okay, down into the zone. Good play there from Brecken. Takes it away, and he'll start out of the zone. Dumps this one ahead. Off the skate. All the way down. A couple of rails changing on the fly. And that will end the first period. Shot totals after the first. Cloquet with 11 for a first period save total for Jace of 9. Shot totals for the Rails, 6 for a first period save total for the Lumberjack goaltender of 5. All right, everybody. 15 minutes back on the clock. We switch sides. Second period about to start. Brecken on the dot with Will and Ruxin on his wings. Matt and Gray at the points. Cloquet with the opening draw there. Sends it into the zone. Matt will pick this up along the wall. Backhands this one ahead. And that's intercepted by Cloquet. Kept into the zone. Dumped by Brecken. Shot in on net. Bit of a knuckle puck, almost fooled Jace. He's got it in the gear. And just 16 seconds in, we'll get a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Brecken wins the mat. He plays to the point. That's held in. Clearing attempt by Brecken is kicked back to the corner. Gray now sends this one off the glass, but that's knocked down. Cloquet, D to D. Shot from the circle, scores off the post. Lumberjacks have extended the lead to 3-1, just 32 seconds into this second period. Declan wins the draw back. Miles chips it ahead. That's out of the zone too far for Griffin. Okay, from their own blue line. Up the far wall. Played back by Max. Intercepted there. Down into the zone. Declan walks away with it. Back up the wall for Griff. He sends it back for Declan. That goes off the skate. Okay, down into the corner with possession. They'll come around behind. Surveying. Centering attempt off of a shin pad. That was Declan. Okay, now with possession in behind. Wrap around, no. All the way to the top of the circle. Poke check there. Forces a shot. And from the top of the slot. Shot along the ice. Beats Jace as he slides right to left. And just a minute 16 into the second period. The Lumberjacks have extended the lead to 3. Okay, takes possession off the draw. Down the near side. Center, that goes off a boot. Matt flips it high. Held it at the point. Played to the corner. Matt will race over, plays it ahead for Will. He's able to chip it up and out of the zone. Cloquet covers up. They'll start in from the red line again. Down the far circle, into the slot, backhand, kick save, rebound, ends in, back in on Jace. He'll cover up. We'll get a defensive zone face-off here. Matt ahead for Will off the draw. Sent back to the slot. Bobbled down into the corner by Cloquet. They've got possession to the top of the circle. Poke check there, back to the point. They'll just play it down into the behind the net. Sent back by Matt. Max clears it up the wall. Intercepted by Brecken. He sidesteps the defender who pinched, and he's out of the zone. Down into the offensive zone. Bottom of the circle. Around behind, still has possession. Plays it back to the point for Matt. He'll catch, fires. That goes off a shin pad out front. Ruxin with it, turns and fires. That goes off somebody out front as well. Brecken up the wall, sends it towards the net. Intercepted before he could get there. Okay, rink wide pass. Springs that player. 2-on-1. Ruxin hustling to get back to help, and they were offsides as they entered. 12-13 remains in the second period, and offsides the call there, so we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Puck shoved all the way down into the Cloquet end. Icing waved off. Jacks will be the first ones on it. They start out from behind their net, pressured by Bria. Declan steps up. Pass makes it to the point. They chip it ahead, and they're into the offensive zone. Across the blue line. Shot from the far circle. Kick save by Jace. Cleared to the wall. Griff able to chip it off the wall and out. He gets held up. No call. Okay, right back into the zone. They'll go to the far circle, down to the bottom of the circle. Shot. That goes through Jace to the near corner. Bria off the wall with it now. Chips it ahead one-handed. Gets it past the defender. They'll go rink wide at their own blue lines. Starting ahead. Max steps up at the line. They're Cloquet into the zone. 4-on-1. Good play from Miles. Takes it away, but it's still there. Kick save from Jace. Another shot. Another save from Jace. Cleared to the corner by Declan. Cloquet walks into the circle. Picked up by the defender. Shot from the spot. Gloved. Dropped. He'll drop on it. 11:06 remains in the second period. Face off coming to Jace's left. Brecken maintains possession off the draw. He'll rim it around, far side. Pitching defender picks it up at the half wall there. Still has possession. Walks through the circle. Shot, scores over the shoulder. And with that, the Lumberjacks have extended their lead to 5-1. Rails had possession. They send it ahead. Jacks take it away, send it to the blue line. Played up. Picked up by Matt just inside the line. He chips this one ahead for Brecken. He's into the zone. Pulled from behind. No call. Will battling along the end wall now. Kicks it to his stick. Matt chips it and pinches in from the blue line, gets it back down into the corner. Brecken with it now behind. He'll hand off to Ruxin, plays it off the far wall. Gray does hold the zone, sends it right back to the corner for Ruxin. Furthered for Brecken, back to the point. Matt will settle it down, fires a shot off a body just wide of the net. That hits somebody in the back out front, or in the elbow it looks like. Matt gets it again in the slot, it's in his feet, loses it. Cloquet starts ahead. Jumped in off a shin pad. That'll end up in the far corner. Max battling for it there. Pushes it further to the corner. Puck squirts free. And with that, we're going to get a call. Cloquet going to the box. Looks like number 7. Minor penalty for tripping, I think. Anyways, 9:39 left in the second period. Rails on their first power play of the game, minute and a half on the penalty. Brecken wins it back to Miles at the point. He'll settle it down. Sidesteps one, hands to Brecken. That's chipped off his stick all the way down. Matt forced to play it. They're saying it was deflected. Stretch pass does get through. Will has it there. Or Brecken, sorry. Into the offensive zone, down into the slot. Will gives it back to Brecken. I'll get down to the corner. Around near side. Rucks off the near wall. Matt with it there. Shot from the circle. Shin pad block. Matt centers. Loose in the slot. That scores. That'll be Will from Brecken and Matt. Power play goal. Rails narrow the lead to 3. Cloquet with possession off that draw. Down the near side, into the slot. Backhand shot, blocker save, rebound, kick save. Jay still looking for it. We get a whistle. He's on top of it. Cloquet, shot from the circle, gloved. Jason, just hang on. We'll reset, do it again. Okay, again, shot blocked out front. Miles scoops that up, starts out of the zone himself. Into the zone, dumps that down into the near side corner. Okay, the first one's on it there. Rhea able to chip that away. Cloquet gets it back though. Through neutral ice, down the near side. He leans into the circle, shot. Body save there from Jace. Declan loses an edge. Cloquet right back into the circle with it. Centers. Puck bouncing around a bit. Bria clears, that goes off the stick. Cloquet forced back into their own end by Tony. Good pressure there. Stretch pass, hits the player, they're into the zone. He stops, loses possession, back out of the zone, offside. 7:56 remaining in the second period. We'll get a neutral zone face-off here just outside Cloquet's end. Win for Brecken there. Chip back out of the zone. Cloquet takes it. Off the far wall, back in the Proctor end. Sent down into the corner. Comes out near side. To the circle, back to the point. Shot, gets through. 5-hole, beats Chase. Lumberjacks have extended lead back to 4. Score is now 62 with 7:35 remaining in the second period. Cleared out of the zone by Brecken. Ruxin has it now. Rink wide for Will, into the zone. Sidesteps one, he's down into the circle. Drops for Brecken, he's got some space. Hard shot, blocked, rebound, over the net. Matt pinches from the blue line. He's got it down on the goal line, tries the center, gets the puck back. Lofts one high, the goaltender will just hang on to that one. 7-11. Left in the second. Offensive zone draw for the Rails here. Brecken centering. Ruxin and Will. One back to Miles. He fires one off a shin pad. Will taken out of the play there in the corner. Lumberjacks up the far wall. He falls. Puck underneath him. Played to the point, held in by Brecken, and delayed penalty. We're going to have Ruxin going to the box. Minor for tripping. So the guy falling down was apparently the penalty. 6:51 remains in the second. Minute and a half on the board for the minor penalty to Ruxin. Rails on the penalty kill. Played to the corner for Max. He plays this up the wall. Whistle blown dead. Not sure what the whistle was, but we're going to get a defensive pairing change for the Rails. Brecken and Will with Matt and Gray. Played to the wall. Gray steps up. That's played down to the corner by Cloquet. Lofted high, held in at the point. Cloquet, D near side. Shot from the circle, blocked by Matt. It's bouncing out front. Rebound, pushed wide. Cleared up, but not out. Will, with a second effort, able to get it out of the zone. Cloquet circles at the red line here. Pass across into the zone. To the point, but not out. They'll walk down the wall with it. Into the far corner. Matt able to take it away. Poke checked off his stick. Second effort by Brecken does clear. This comes all the way down. Icing waved off. Cloquet circles their net, starts out. Headman pass into the neutral zone. Down into the near side circle. Drop pass intercepted by Will. He chips it up off the wall for Brecken, just too far. Cloquet able to cover that one up. Brecken will force the issue in the offensive zone though. Rink wide pass goes off a skate. They'll recover. Shot from the blue line, blocker to the corner by Jace. Point ahead by Jace. Cloquet back on it. 1 second, and penalty time has expired to Ruxin. Both teams full strength. Will starts ahead with it. He's got Ruxin fresh out of the box. He's going to go for a change, though. Will curls in the circle. He's got nobody with him. Hard shot up over the net. Griffin, the first one on the near side. Walks off the wall, loses possession. Brecken dumps it down, plays back to the point. Miles with it there. Fires this one 6 feet wide. Battling there is Griff. Played up off the wall. Jackson into the neutral zone. Tip pass. Puts him around Declan into the offensive zone. Down into the slot. Shot. Turned aside by Jace. Cleared up to the wall, but not out. Held in. Second effort from Griffin. Gets it out of the zone. 2-on-1. 3-on-1 if they hustle. Griffin over to Tony. He shoots. That's blocked by a stick poke check. Tony puts his man into the wall. He's going to go to the box for body check, I believe. And Rails back to the penalty kill with 4:24 left in the second. Puck squished to the bottom of the circle. Cloquet with possession. Round behind. Poke check to the far wall. Back down in behind. Comes to the circle. Cloquet walks in. Shot. Scores. Power play goal. 4:03 left in the second. And the Jacks have now extended the lead to 7-2. Declan with possession off the draw. Bump there, puck taken away. Jacks down into the zone, into the slot, past the side, that gets all the way into the corner. Jacks come out of the corner with it, they're in behind the net. They stop, reverse, come back. Still in possession behind. Up to the half wall now. Played to the point. Back down to the half wall. Centering attempt goes off a stick to the far wall. Max with a hard shot. Tips off a stick but out of the zone. Cloquet backhands this one ahead. Out of the zone. Max plays it off a body. Cloquet picks it up. Down into the offensive zone, but he loses possession. Miles battling for it there. Gets it ahead, but not out. Walks down, bottom of the circle. Forces a shot in on Jace. Pad save and smothered. 2:52 left in the second period, and a defensive zone faceoff for the Rails. Brecken will be in the circle here. One to the wall, Matt has possession. Side steps one, battling along the wall for the other. Cloquet with possession in behind. Wraparound attempt taken away by Gray. We'll play this off the glass for Ruxin. That gets out of the zone. Stretch pass does find its mark. Centered to the far circle. Turned aside. Back to the near side point. Settled down. Shot. Pushed wide of the net. Matt plays it to the far corner. Up the wall for Ruxin. He'll start out. Loses it in his skates. Able to chip this one ahead for Brecken. He hits a body there. Ruxin takes it back. Let's push this into the zone. Okay, the first one's on it there, and they'll start out of the zone. Shot in on net, gloved by Jace. 1:54 remains in the second. We're going to get a Brecken back to Max, plays it ahead, intercepted. Cloquet from the dot, whistles one wide of the net. Picked up on the half wall here. Sent across into the slot, backhand shots on the side of the net. Save from Jace, cleared by Miles. Held in at the point. This one gets centered, that's knocked away by Griffin. Bria picks it up, she's out of the zone. Races ahead near side, chips it to the far side corner. Cloquet with possession there, chips it back. Declan knocks it down. Battling along the half wall there, Max had vacated the point. Miles picks this one up. He'll circle in behind his own net. Off the wall, held in at the point. Down. On the bottom of the circle, center. That goes through everybody. Griffin off the wall, gets it out of the zone. 50 seconds left in the second period. Okay, stops at their own blue line. Stretch pass, hits its mark. They're into the zone, 2-on-1. Hard shot, whistled wide of the net. Bria chips it out. Declan finally able to get it out of the zone. Cloquet circles. Starts back in on the near side. 29 seconds left. Stops there. Looking for a center. Hard shot, whistled off the rifled off the post. Griffin battling on the far wall there. Fanned on a clearing attempt. Taken away by Max. Sent back into the corner by Cloquet. 13 seconds left. Taken away by Griffin. Forces Lumberjacks out of the zone. 2 seconds left in the period. And that'll end it. Second period shot total for the Lumberjacks, 19 for second period. Save total of 14. Second period shot total for the Lumberjacks, 19 for second period save total for Jace of 14. Second period shot total for Rails of 4. For second period save total for the Lumberjacks goaltender of 3. Center ice face-off, one by Cloquet into the zone, down the middle. Shot, kicked side, and Jace will just cover that one up. 8 ticks off the clock here in the third. The draw will come to Jace's left in the Proctor end. Puck loose in the circle, played ahead by Matt. Lumberjacks send it back into the slot. Kicked over by Matt to Tony, clears the zone. Pass near side, puts them back in. Cloquet down to the circle, into the slot. Backhand shot blocked. In the corner, Matt takes it away, sends it up for Tony. Chips it off the wall and out. Cloquet circles in their own end. Up the near side, out of the zone efficiently. Back down into the offensive zone. Bottom of the circle, around behind, wrap around. Jace gets there, pad save and smothered. Good lateral movement there from Jace to cover the far post. We are a minute 48 into just 48 seconds into this third period here. We're gonna change and another draw to Jace's left. Will takes possession off the draw. Sends it ahead for Ruxin. This return right back to Will. Skipped over his stick. He plays back for Miles. Miles up the wall, sends it ahead. Nobody there. Cloquet down the far wall, into the zone. Will carry it all the way into the corner, around behind. Back to the point. Shot there. Scores. I think that beat Jace 5-hole. And the Jacks now have extended the lead to a score of 8-2, just a minute 13 into this third period. Lumberjacks in possession there, taken away with a good stick by Brecken, sent ahead. Rux runs into a thick body. Jacks top of the circle. That shot wide of the net. They've got possession back in the corner again. Around behind. Into the circle. Shot from the dot. It goes off a body and hit the side of the net. Played to the point. Pitching defender. Missed it. Will and Brecken 2-on-1 as they get into the zone. Shot. Blocker save. Rebound. Scores. And with that, the Rails narrow the lead to only 5 as Will scores on the rebound on Brecken's shot. 13:05 left in the third. Center ice draw set to be taken by Brecken, one back by Cloquet. Played back out of the zone efficiently. Down the circle, centers, high slot, shot, blocks out front. Gray clears it to the wall, that makes it out of the zone. DDD pass in their own end, chipped ahead, stretch pass does connect. Hard shot there, off the glove and in. And the Rails find themselves down by 6 yet again. 12:40 remains in the third. Lumberjacks off the draw. Declan able to poke check that away. He goes on the far wall with it. Tries to center. Does end up on net. Jack's goaltender will melt it down. We are officially back into running time here with the goal differential of 6. Declan wins over to Bria, plays back to the point for Max. His shot goes off a body as he recovers. Puck came just out of the zone. Offsides is the call. Declan back on the draw here. It's one back by Cloquet. D-to-D pass, tipped ahead. Into the zone. Down into the slot, still with possession. Sent out front, shot, scores. That'd be Jace 5-hole. Nobody out front on the man, standing there all alone. Scores now 10-3. Cloquet possession off the draw, up the near side wall. They'll dump it in. Backhanded up the far wall for Will. He's able to chip it out of the zone, starts ahead. Brecken applies the pressure into the offensive zone. Tipped up and out. Cloquet will start to neutralize with it. On the far side wall, into the circle. Puck squirts free near side. Cloquet with possession again. Back down to the corner. Played in behind. Sent to the bottom of the circle. Matt battling for it there. He picks it up. He'll start out with it. And we've got an instant call there, hooking the minor penalty on number 17. Brecken wins the draw to Will. Back to Miles at the point. Back down to Brecken at the top of the circles. Brecken surveys. Sidesteps one. Shot and scored. That'll be Brecken's goal. The assist to Will. And power play goal. The Rails capitalize. Score now 10-4. Brecken wins the offensive zone draw to Will. Chips ahead. Cloquet takes it right back. Pushes the ball, puck far wall. Down into the circle. Centered, kick save from Jace. Rebound. Ends up in behind the net. Jace scrambling. Cloquet up to the half wall on the far side. Still surveying. Back down the wall. Centers, tipped in on net. Jace finds it, and he'll cover up. 9:06 and counting left in the third. We'll get a face-off to Jace's right. Cloquet with possession off the draw, walks down the circle with it. Around behind, plays back to the far point. Pivots. Stops at the half wall, back to the point. Tries the toe drag, still has possession. Plays back to the near side point. That shot tips. Jace able to slide across and find it with his chest. He'll hang on. 8:23 remaining in the third. We're going to get a line change for the Rails. Both teams, it appears. And another defensive zone draw in the Rails end. Tony on the draw. He's got possession. Right back down into the corner by Cloquet. Matt forces it to the far side, near side. Cloquet still with possession. Around the circle, up to the slot. Bree picks that one up there. She'll chip it ahead. Cloquet with possession around behind their own net. They start ahead. Rink wide pass in the skates. Bria takes it away. Does chip it into the zone. Cloquet will be the first ones on it. They play it ahead. Up and out of the zone. Well, Matt will pick this up. He starts up, comes near side on his backhand. Stops. Poke checked off his stick down into the corner. Cloquet Chips it ahead, out of the zone. Matt picks this up, takes a look. Rink wide pass forward, Gray. Gray up off the wall to Griffin. Chips it to the middle for Bria. She sends it into the zone, but it's taken right back by Cloquet. Up the wall. Rink wide pass puts them through neutral ice into the offensive zone now. Matt takes that away. Chips this ahead. Nobody there. Cloquet will start back from their own end. Surveys up the far wall. Matt able to skate into this one, take it away. Stops, pivots in the corner. He'll just rim this one around. Up and out of the zone. Cloquet will pick it up in neutral ice. D-to-D pass will cross the blue line. Return back. Up now at center ice. Backhander off the far wall into the zone. Matt around behind. Stops. Back for Tony. He plays this off the wall. Chips off a stick into the offensive zone. Bria giving chase. Off the wall, held in by Max. He puts a shot in that's blocked, ends up wide of the net. Clearing attempt, fanned on. Tony jumps on it, but it's poke checked off his stick. Pass ahead, gets up and out of the zone. Will picks it up at the red line, dumps it right back into the corner, and he'll chase after it. Okay, pivots at the half wall, through the slot, giveaway on the backhand pass, Brecken with it, taken away at the wall. Miles tries the pinch, puck is poke free. Brecken now with it, he starts ahead, tries to give it to Will. His feet were not moving, so Cloquet now with possession in the corner. Will now on the near side, over for Brecken. Puck bounces around, loses in the slot. Cloquet will start out with it. Cleared back out. Stretch pass. Cloquet into the offensive zone. Pressure there from Max. Cloquet able to walk off the wall with it. Down in next to the net. Low shot under the pads. 4:45 and counting left in the third. Tony wins the draw for Gray. He puts this off the end glass. Matt will pick it up on the half wall, chips it ahead for Bria. Bria dumps it all the way down. Icing waved off. Cloquet plays it in behind their own net. They start out near side. Surveys with a rink wide pass that connects. Up through neutral ice into the offensive zone. Sent into the slot. Poke check from Matt there. Griffin's got it in his feet. Cloquet picks it up again. Drop back to the point, held in there. Oh, does squirt free. Griffin battles, has to take it away. His stick was lifted. He loses an edge, and Cloquet will stretch a pass to the far side into the zone. Matt stops. Still battling for it in the corner there. Puck comes down, end wall. Matt forces it all the way around near side. Chips this up. Held in at the half wall. Comes to the top of the circle. Blocked by Gray. Matt clears it to the wall. Cloquet with it there. Tony clears it up the wall. Held it at the point. Still with possession at the point. He'll sidestep, pivot. All the way across through the zone. They'll keep it in on the far side. Bria with pressure there. Takes a man down. No call. Tony off the wall, held in by Cloquet, 2:55 remaining. Tony clears the line, but not out. They'll line up a shot that goes off a stick, blocked by Gray out front. Matt chips this one ahead, that goes all the way out of the zone. Icing indicated. They'll opt not to play it. 2:37 and counting left in the third. We're going to get a line change for the Rails and a face-off to Jace's left. Cloquet with possession. Shot off a shin pad. Rux picks it up. That's taken off his stick. Shot from the circle hits the base of the net. Miles near side with it. He'll reverse back around the far side. That goes off a shin pad back into the corner. Miles takes a look, sidesteps one. Will comes down to the half wall, plays it. Rink wide saucer pass, hits Rux in stride. He's able to poke that into the zone, but taken right back. Okay, starts out. Rux in near side, taken out, and as Will touches it, it's Rux back to the box, tripping the call. 1:35 and counting left in the third. We'll get another penalty kill for the Rails and a defensive zone draw to Jace's left, or right. Referee is moving to the near side. Draw one. It goes off a match stick. It was already going high. Held in at the point. They go D to D. Shot from the dot. That ramped off of Jace's stick and went bar down after that. So power play goal for the Jacks extends their lead to a score of 11-4. Cloquet with possession off the draw. Sent to the slots. Griffin with good pressure there, takes it away. Declan battling for it. Shot. Blocked out front. They get the puck back. Backhand shot pushed wide of the net. Matt from the corner plays it ahead. Chipped off the wall. Held in at the point there. Back down into the slot. Shot from the circle. Ends up wide of the net. Couldn't tell if that was a kick save or a tip. Matt starts out of the zone down the far wall. Into the offensive zone, chips it towards the net. He's interfered with, no call there. Cloquet will pick it up, send it back out of the zone. Make wide pass, puts him down into the zone. They're on sides. Down into the slot. Shot, misses the net. Cloquet down into the slot again. Shot, scores. 11 seconds left. That'll do it. Final score will end up being 12-4. Total shots for Cloquet in the third period, 10 for a total save total for Jace in the third period of 5. Total shots for the Rails in the third period, 4 for a third period save total for the Lumberjacks goaltender of 2. Rails are back in action Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. They'll be hosting Waconia. Either join us at the Proctor Rink or tune in. We'll have your broadcast then, 10:30 a.m. Friday morning. Game save total for Jace of 28 on 40 shots. Cloquet goaltenders save total 10 out of 14 shots. Again, Rails back in action